What's good, guys? Big Hass here, and I'm back with another deck profile. I did 2 skirmishes on the weekend, and I was able to take first place with Draven on my first one. Unfortunately, I misplayed really badly on the Sunday one that I went to, and I was pushed out of top 4, mainly due to my misplays and errors. So I need to, tighten that up and not misplay, I guess. So I'll get into the deck profile. So we have the Glorious Executioner. Really stupid broken legend, and for our chosen champion, Draven Vanquisher. This card creates a lot of pressure early game, especially if you can bring him out on your first turn with an obelisk if you're going second, and it needs to be dealt with. Your opponent needs to find a way to deal with that very quickly. For battlefields, Zorn Warrens, this is for blind game 1. It's cycles through your deck very quickly. It's very nice. If we're going first, we've got the Veiled Temple. Readying your gold and your seals is very important in this deck, especially if you have multiple cool shots or just ways to dig into your deck. Being able to utilize that is very important. And then for going second, when we know we're going to go second, we want to put Obelisk in. Hard play Draven is very scary. Also means that we can potentially get a battering ram out on the turn after. Or even on the turn itself, if you open Cool Shot and like multiple seals. There are times where I've actually been able to battering ram turn 1, which is also just as scary as Draven. The Rune Split is 5 and 7. This felt fine, not really much to say on this. I don't think we need the extra red at all. Mostly we're using purple with the Miracle Engine. So, speaking of Miracle Engine, we are playing a 3-stack deck because we like to draw, 3 more Cool Shot because we like to draw, and then Ezreal to make this cheaper. Enough said, really. Drawing cards. Why wouldn't we play it until it's banned? And then for units, the deck that I was originally using as my template for testing was playing, instead of this, a free traveling merchant. I felt like this was so much better. I never felt like I needed the discard draw of merchant. I had so much draw power anyway in the deck, and being able to just play these for so cheap, I don't know why we wouldn't utilize this. Either stacking on a battlefield or going for a crazy conquer. These felt really nice. And then the card that, if you can count to 4, you can probably play this deck. It's enough said. This card is insane with how cheap we can get it out, with the amount of cards that we can play in the turn. And the might, 5 might is crazy. And then 3 big boy Rasa. These get very cheap very quickly. I'm able to bring these out a lot quicker than I ever was in Sivir, with the amount of cards in the trash. And then a buy. This can be a double swing, to win game on 6 points with Ride the Wind, or this could just be left in base to just put stuff back in your deck if you're going to deck out. And a lot of times just keeping it in your base is scary enough to your opponent. So for the Detonate package, we've got pre-Detonate, Killer Gear, and its controller draws 2. I think this card's self-explanatory with the next 2 coming up, to be honest. So we have Scrap Heap and Treasure Trove. So obviously if we can discard this off Ezreal or if the Zorn Warrens is good, hard playing this, drawing 1, killing it, deramping 1 to draw 3 more is still pretty nice. Draw 4, why not? And then killing Trove draws 3, and we don't actually really pay for the recycle because we're going to channel the rune exhausted anyway that would have paid for it. Nothing really else to say. This engine definitely helped the consistency of the deck, and with all of them being very cheap, it means that we can get battering rams out very quickly and flood the field. And then for gear, we've got 3 seals, Spinning Axe, and my favorite card in the game, Last Rites. Most of what we're playing is purple related, so why wouldn't we play this, especially for the cool shots in the Ezreal. Spinning Axe, I'm going to argue about this card. I think my friend made a good point. If you play 1 and they see it, they don't know how many you're playing in your deck, so like it's always kind of like a lingering thought that your opponent has to think about, kind of the same as Punch First for like a deck like Sivir or any other body decks. And then last rites, this is the big thing that I felt was missing when I was playing the Miracle deck. I guess it's a bit of a crutch for me, but I really like this card for a late game. Especially for like a grindy late game, you know, being able to bring back Grass's Draven. Even Noxus Hopefuls if you can play a card before this resolves. You know, this felt really good, especially in sort of more grindier matchups. And then for spells, free Foth, this card, you know, always going to be a free of in every deck that I play. Especially it's insane in this with being able to, you know, take a unit back to their base and then draw a card anyway. Then we have 1 Rebuke, 1 Bushwhack, and a Ride the Wind. In original games this was 2 Bushwhacked, but there were times where I could go for a vibe play or go for some kind of play, maybe with the Bushwhacked, and if they have the Foth or the, I mean the Rebukes are relevant, but if they have the Foth, and they push me back, you know, that could be like game ending. So there were times where, you know, I could have units ready, push them in, they might try and Foth something back and then just on resolution ride it back in, which felt really good. Definitely came up, so I think playing the 1 each is definitely a lot better. And then for the side deck, so I made a few changes for the day after, but I'll touch on those when they come up. So we have Against the Odds. This is just for swarm decks in general. We can just send in all our units, and if they've got a bunch, you know, cool, we're going to beat over everything anyway. Another Rebuke. There are some decks where Rebuke is insane, and then there's some decks where it's not, but I just wanted the option of having more consistency of seeing it. And then for Destruction spells, we've got Piercing Light and a Falling Star. For the Sunday one that I went to, I was playing 2, which I think felt better, but you know, having the variety definitely was nice as well, which I'm not going to complain about. And then Hard Bargain to, you know, go for a crazy push, or just hold to stop them from drawing cards if they're playing the Miracle package. And then the most broken card in the game that needs to be taken out until we have some kind of like Defy for units is Bryn here. This won me a game against an Aurelia player. I was able to slam this. I waited for them to dump their whole hand and just showed them the Rebuke, and then just walked a unit in and won the game. Card's silly, needs to go. And then for more spell heavy destruction decks, I put a Ferris Forerunner in. You know, just 6 energy, 1 recycle for 12 might basically. Why wouldn't you play this? So that is the list. I kind of rambled a little bit and I went through it a little bit too quickly, but it's a very self-explanatory deck. The small choices I made really was, you know, the Ride the Wind and the Noxus Hopefuls, which to me felt really nice. I will probably not be playing this deck in the future, as I don't think there's any real point. I'm not really learning anything playing it. The deck very much plays itself, so I'll probably be moving on to Sivir again, or maybe back to Kai'Sa for a little bit. But thanks for watching, guys. That's the deck profile. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully be bringing you more RIFTBOUND content soon. Anyway, take care. Bye.